This video is an introduction to square roots, which are also called radicals. So some vocabulary, this symbol right here, that square root sign, is called the radical, and then the number underneath the square root, that's called the radicand. So the 25 is called your radicand. And the big idea with square roots is it's basically asking the question, what times itself is 25? And since 5 times 5 is 25, then the square root of 25 is 5. On this next one, we have negative square root of 49. When there's a number outside of the square root, there's multiplication. So really, if there's a negative, it means negative 1 times the square root of 49. All right, what times itself is 49? Well, that's 7. And then negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. On this next one, there's no way to get a negative 49. If we have 7 times 7, we would get positive 49. Negative 7 times negative 7 would give us positive 49. So this has no real solution. There's a different number system, but we'll deal with that at another time. With division, you're going to get the correct answer if you break this down into the square root of the numerator, so square root of 121 divided by square root of denominator, so square root of 81. And now, since 11 times 11 is 121, then the square root of 121 is 11. And 9 times 9 is 81, so the square root of 81 is 9. And it's okay to leave our answer as an improper fraction. All right, here I'm going to take the square root of 25 and get 5. And now I have the square root of 16, which is 4. So this becomes 5 minus 4, which is 1. Notice that if I have the same numbers, but within the radical sign, so the radicand itself has addition or subtraction, there's the order of operations. First, find the answer. What's 25 minus 16? That's 9. And only now do we get to take the square root, which is 3. Okay, and so you'll see these are not the same answer. So if there's subtraction or addition, also under the square root symbol, first find the answer to that subtraction problem, and then go ahead and take the square root at the very end. Okay, to summarize the properties that we've been using, with the products, if you have the square root of A times the square root of B, you can rewrite that as the square root of their product all together under the square root. And similarly with a fraction, you can break that down into the square root of the numerator divided by the square root of denominator. And you can go back and forth with these. If you've got the square root of a product, you can break that down into the square root of the first term times the square root of the second term. And then just be really careful because it does not work with addition and subtraction. So the square root of A plus or minus the square root of B is not the same as the square root of that addition or subtraction problem under one big square root. So just be really careful with that. In this whole section, and really from here on out, it's going to be extremely helpful to have memorized your perfect squares. It makes simplifying radicals so much easier. So if you have never had a math teacher tell you to memorize these, I'm telling you now. Please memorize these. It will make your life so much easier.